So the CV, I obviously, look for, when they graduated pharmacy school. This seems like a strange thing to look at, but that really does put a lot of their other application materials into perspective. So, for example, we've had, we get the majority of our applicants are recent grads. But we do get a fair number of, graduates that have worked, 5, 6, 7 years. So, what I'm looking for in a candidate who's a recent grad is going to be a lot different, perhaps, than what I would be looking for in an application for someone who's in the workforce 5 to 7 years, right? If you have a reference from a teacher that hasn't seen you in 7 years, then to me, that's not as meaningful as, who is your current manager? Types of things have you been involved with, in your career path, right? So I do look at the year of graduation. I know I can get that in other parts, but that's one of the first things I look at. I look at all the, the rotations the student has done to that point in the descriptions. But one of the things that and this kind of goes to the whole candidate, I look for extracurricular, and in particular, I look for leadership. I want to see, how the student, say in a project group or in a professional society, how they have taken a leadership role on, either in a limited way or, it could be in the form of, an office they've held. Mm-hmm. So those are the kinds of things that I'm looking for in an application. It's not required, but we do assess it, and we do look to see, how many types of leadership roles and responsibilities the student has taken on, and as well as extracurricular. Because again, you have your students that have the 4.0, right? But if they haven't done anything else outside of pharmacy school, like they haven't done any well-rounded experiences like community outreach and things like that, that's a big part of our residency. We do a lot of work with our community. So, we would feel like that would be a better fit. Say someone who's coming to us with a 3.2 GPA. However, they have a ton of community and extracurricular activity leadership, then to us that would be a better fit for our program. So just as an example. So that's what I'm in particular looking for in a CV are the examples of those kinds of activities.
I am looking to see what their rotations were like. So what type of experiences have they had? I'm looking to see if they've had work experience and what that looks like. And then I'm also looking to see if there's anything that jumps off the page at me, like a lot of research or a poster presentation or a major presentation. So something that they've done a little bit extra.
I think some things that we value are, well, there's a lot of things, but I think I'd certainly like to see that a candidate has been invested in their community. So that can look like very many different things, right? So that can be through professional organizations, or that can be through traditional community service, or it can be through other types of, I think that just shows that if someone has invested the time to be able to invest in their community, then it's a lot of the work that we do. And so it's really helpful to see that. So I think that is really helpful. And then, let's see, CV. I think it's also valuable, like some work history of having, I think it also shows a lot if you're able to manage working and going to school, at the same time. I think that helps demonstrate some of the time management skills that someone can develop. And then, let's see what else. And probably, hopefully APPEs are listed on your CV. So that's probably a whole other given. But the other is, I know it's not always a possibility for, every candidate, but the potential to have, done a presentation or been involved in some sort of research makes it a little bit easier transition to residency.
Yeah, so on a CV, if they list out their experiential rotations, I like to look through that just to make sure that they've had a diverse experience. Also, I'm looking if they had any pharmacy experience, so looking for like their license number. If they list number of hours, that's something that I like to consider. And then also looking for any publications or presentations at national or local meetings.